Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Stock Market Video. This is where we do analysis on QQQ and S&P 500, as well as the 7 mega cap tech stocks: Meta, Tesla, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Apple, and Nvidia. So we're looking at their support and resistance levels, as well as the most likely scenario where price can head to later next week. And before we start, let's get started with the data first. So AI sentiment data, we get this every Wednesday, and currently it's not really giving us much of an edge because it's pretty neutral, which kind of just all evened out 30s, 30s, 30s. So let's look at the fear ingredient index. So currently, it's a bit surprising to see market still in fear, even though we're not that far from all-time highs at the moment. Although we did have mostly a red week, except for Friday, and so we'll take a look at the levels, give us a better clue where the price is going to head to next week. And next week we do have a lot of data in terms of jobs and employment. So the thing that will move the market would probably be PMI on Monday, and Tuesday would likely be the manufacturing data. Usually if these come in line, right, if it's consensus, if it's 53.5 and it comes in 53.5 or around that area, right, it's not gonna really move the market at all. But if it comes a lot different than the consensus, then it will move the market quite a bit, especially if the job numbers, let's say if, ADP non-from, right, we were looking for 143, it comes in a lot lower, right, then that's going to probably drop the market, and vice versa. We do have the minutes come in on Wednesday, Fed minutes, so we'll see what it ends up telling us a little bit more about how hawkish the Fed is going to be. And in the jobless claims, so another job number as well, that's going to move the market. And unemployment rate, this one will definitely move the market if it changes, especially if it ticks higher, right, to 4.3 or 4.4, then that would probably spook the market a little bit. But so far for the last 2 months, looks like it's been coming in at 4.2 at exactly, and hasn't changed at all. So we'll see if we're getting surprises here. Yeah, so jam pack of data for jobs. So make sure to watch if you're in a day trade or something. All right, let's take a look at the date charts. So let's start with Qs. And so Qs on Thursday, we got a daily downtrend confirmed. So this is the high, this is the initial move, this is the lower high, this is the lower low. So we got a daily downtrend confirmed, but lacking any kind of follow through at this moment, which it does kind of make sense, right? We come into this structure, which is this. See this volume as well, right? This volume node here is the high of this structure, so it's acting as support. And where we traded, I think we traded for like 4 days here, 5 days ish around this range. And you can see also this low was marked from this structure's high as well, which is also this low. So we are, unless bears get some follow through here, right, we're just going to be looking for potentially a sideways, more of a sideways action, or kind of like a falling wedge, because falling wedge are usually lower lows lacking follow through. But so far we don't really have a pattern yet that formed. We need a little bit more data, but the characteristic of a falling wedge is pretty much lower lows with no follow through. Let's say we come up here, right? Retest, try to back test this all-time high range. We failed again. Come back down, makes a lower low, no follow through again, bounced, and then we know it's going to be a falling wedge, because then we have more data points to go off of. But at this moment, we can just speculate this could be a falling wedge because of this first lower low, no follow through. And if we get in lower low, no follow through, that means bears aren't really doing much on the time frame. If you just zoom out to the weekly, it's just a weekly higher low, meaning this is a healthy consolidation at this moment. So no signs of red flags, at least in the longer term time frame. If we start confirming weekly downtrends, then that's going to be a red flag for me, because we have not confirmed a weekly weekly downtrend since all the way to 2023 September. So it's been a while, because even this drop, right, this is a huge weekly drop, and this is where bears could have confirmed weekly downtrends because they have a lot of space. And then so they tried right here, but ends up being a higher low, a weekly higher low, and made a higher high. So Even in this kind of fear, we did not confirm a weekly downtrend in August. So if we do confirm weekly downtrend here, like let's say we get a little bounce next week and tighten up potentially like an equilibrium or a falling wedge or tightening range, and then we roll over and break this weekly low, then that's pretty significant for me. But that would take at least 2-3 weeks bare minimum to shape up at the moment. But for now on the daily, it looks perfectly fine. Really no red flags, right? Other than that, you are just 4% off from all-time high. It's not that much. Um, so yeah, so let's see if we do get any kind of follow through on this daily downtrend, because we could argue that, right, barriers are a little bit tired on a 4.6% drop into this daily downtrend, right? So they could have be a little bit exhausted down here and run out of a little bit of steam, and they just need to take a break. And so after this bounce, maybe they'll get follow through, right? So they do have a lot of space to get that continuation of the daily downtrend to follow through. So we'll see if they do get follow through early next week. If they don't, right, bulls show up, and then bulls start breaking this high, then that was just you know it was just a zero follow through, and bulls are gonna probably head back to all-time highs. If we do break this pivot around this 531, we're probably heading to all-time highs. So bulls, bears need to pretty much show up pretty close right away, or around this 521 zone. You can see all this volume here, right? So bears need to defend this level. If they lose it, they're looking up closer to that level, and bulls definitely need to defend this level. All right, let's look at SPY. So SPY is it's pretty much an equilibrium. If you look at ES or after hours, let's go to 12-hour. So you can see how nice this tightening range is. Big move down, right? Initial move, back up. This low doesn't break a new low, so now just a tightening range. So it's because QQQ did break the low, but SPY didn't, so we didn't get much follow through on the downside, in my opinion. So it'll be something like this, potentially like a tightening range, and we'll see how it ends up tightening up. So if we get a green, let's say Monday morning, right? It's green, and then it kind of goes lower Monday afternoon, and then it closes around here or something, and then Tuesday it kind of just goes a little bit lower and it bounces a little bit. Then we know it's a super clear tightening range, and we'll decide where it decides to end up breaking from this range, right? If this breaks bull, then we're looking first target this pivot, and if it breaks above that, we're looking all-time highs. If it breaks bear, say it breaks bear over here, first target is here, then we look for here. And if it breaks here, then we're looking down closer to this 568 area. Yeah, so if that breaks bear, then Qs will likely be testing this area as well. So the clue was pretty much just SPY not breaking this first reaction FOMC low, and while the Qs did and didn't get much follow through, that's kind of like how we bounced. That was the reaction overall, in my opinion, for no more downside due to Qs being a little bit tired after 4.5% drop, which doesn't make sense, right? 4.5% from 4 straight red days is pretty significant on the bear side. So it does make sense for the Qs to bounce a little bit, and then we'll have to see really next week if bears ends up giving us more downside. So let's take a look at the rest of the mega cap tech stocks to see if it can give us more clues if their charts are weakening up or not. Because if they do weaken, then we'll likely get more downside on the Qs, because these 7 are the most weighted in the QQQs. All right, let's take a Meta first. So Meta, no reflex at this moment, right? Prior all-time high structure, very clear, and we're pretty much just trading above it. So as long as we're trading above the structure, pretty much acting as support. You can see the amount of volume right here, right? This is pretty much this. So, and now it's currently acting as support over here. So if this structure doesn't break, right? If bears can't break below even the bare minimum, the first structure, then bears really aren't going anywhere. So for bears, you want to see is crack below, obviously, this double bottom. Um, and then you want to crack through here and get through this 567. We can get below this, around this purple box. And then when we bounce, let's say go like this, you want to act as resistance. So on that back test, you want to act as resistance and then roll over. There's a huge kind of like a volume gap here, not much traded, so you can bear should be able to easily take this down if we do crack through these 560 levels, and then we'll be looking to closer to testing this prior level around this 540. That's like the best case scenario for bears, but first step is to break this low. And for bulls, right, as long as you hold above this top, double bottom, no signs of red flags. And you're likely potentially just looking for come back to try to test this 612 level, which is this all-time high structure right here. And if we do reject from there, let's say we come up, right, and we don't get to all-time highs and we reject from there, then we're just looking for a tightening range, right? We can go up, we can go down, and we just continue to tighten up. So there's a couple scenarios we're looking at. All right, so look at Tesla here. So Tesla, it does have a daily downtrend, right? I mean, after such a significant move, 141%. Dropping something like this doesn't surprise me at all, right? It was a what, 23% drop. So this is a very clear daily down to confirm with follow through. This is what you want to see, what it looks like with follow through, right? On Tuesday, it confirmed it, and on Thursday, you got even more follow through. And we did get a big bounce, so this could potentially be the weekly higher low, right? Weekly trend is still intact overall, and it's still healthy. Pull back on the weekly just to cool things off a little bit, let some indicators catch up, all that stuff. But bears have a ton of room for continuation of the weekly downtrend, right? Even if we bounce all the way back up here, 420, which is the prior low of this support, which is going to act as resistance. We can't get over 420 and we start rolling over again, and then we're lucky potentially looking down closer to this 338. My opinion. But if we get another, let's say we get another one of these candles on Monday, big bounce up, breaks above 420, then there's a good chance on the pullback, if these 420 zone or this 420 to 420 area acts as support, and then we bounce back like that, and then forms a daily uptrend, then that's zero red flags. That was just healthy weekly consolidation for Tesla, and we're probably heading higher. But for now, we have to break these key resistance levels around this 420 level. Otherwise, daily downtrend can potentially continue, and then it'll be an even bigger weekly consolidation, right? It'll become, who knows, maybe it'll form a weekly downtrend. If we form a weekly downtrend here, then we're probably gonna get more downside. Back test this 358 area. All right, let's take a look at Amazon. No red flags here either. So it does look like a slight falling wedge, right? Kind of like the Qs. This could just be a weekly bull flag, though. Let's see, it's kind of like this. So as long as Amazon trades in this falling wedge, bounce, 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 rejection, rejection, rejection. So this is a very clear falling wedge. I mean, let's see, we zoom out. So this could be just right, we measure from bottom to the top. It's right now it's a weekly bull flag. So as long as it trades above the yellow box, 0.382 retracement. So what we do is this is the bottom, this is the top of this move. So entire move, we measure from the bottom to the top, and then we'll see how much it retraces. So far as retrace about 38.2% of this entire move at this moment. So that's technically still a bull flag at this moment. And so far we did slightly kind of reject it from there again on Friday, but no real red flags at this moment. Yeah. So we'll see if this falling wedge ends up breaking bull, which it usually does. That's the most likely scenario, especially you have a weekly bull flag at the moment. But we are a little bit extended, so let's see if it does come back down for another test. Again, maybe it could be something like this. If it wants to be a fake out, it could be like a bull break of the falling wedge, and then we don't make new all-time highs, and then we just go sideways, and then we kind of be like, it'll become an equilibrium, like a tiny range, go sideways. That's another possibility. Yeah, so we'll see how it ends up, which way this falling wedge ends up breaking. All right, let's take Google here. Google is more of a tiny range than the falling wedge. Super clear, right? Can't get more clear than this. Just tiny range. So a lot of ranges in these mega cap that should break next week. So keep my eye watch on all these guys. Overall, right? If this breaks bull and Amazon breaks bull on the falling wedge and right Meta as well, then the Q is gonna be perfectly fine, right? If all these guys start breaking bear out of these tiny ranges, then we know which way the market is gonna have heading as well. So super clear, right? Rejection, 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 bounce, bounce, bounce. So we'll see which way Google breaks. Market's out a lot weaker. It's really weak compared to all the other guys. The lead downtrend confirmed here, right here. Now we're coming back to where we broke off from. That's kind of a red flag for me at the moment. We did bounce off of this huge volume node area acting as support, but even with this bounce, if this daily downtrend continues, now we zoom out for this weekly potential weekly downtrend because macros doesn't have a ton of room. Look at how big of this drop is, right? Let's say we even bounce all the way to 431 and then form a weekly downtrend, and that would be like a big red flag for Microsoft if that does happen overall. But so far, this is acting as support. So as long as this whole structure doesn't break, we're probably just gonna go sideways overall, which it has pretty much what it was doing, right? The whole since January of 2024, kind of been going completely sideways, pretty much. All right, so let's look at Apple. So no red flags here, really, at the moment on the weekly, and it's kind of a little bit lower than weekly. Not really a weekly bull flag anymore, but it's retraced about 40% of the move. So no huge red flags at this moment, but I want to keep my eye watch to see if it confirms the daily downtrend. So this is a big drop, which has been Apple's been quite weak this week. So when we do bounce, let's say we bounce up to 247, and then we roll over like that, and we confirm daily downtrend, then that's a red flag. Then we're probably going to start testing in this black line, which is this kind of this long-term support, looking rising wedge, which is also coinciding with this top, right? Triple top, bounce, bounce, prior resistance is going to be around this 230 area. Yeah, if that does happen, we confirm this daily downtrend, then we're looking for that weekly consolidation where we might look for weekly downtrends because there's big enough space for that. But for now, overall, it's still okay. No huge red flags on the weekly yet, right? If you zoom out, this is just a small retracement so far. You know, way smaller than this one for sure, right? Overall. All right, let's look at the Nvidia. So Nvidia, super strong on Friday overall. Pretty much what helped the market. So no red flags, bounce, big enough space, daily uptrend confirmed over here, and breaking above this resistance line over here. So now we're looking first target hit already pretty much to this pivot. So we'll see if it can break above. Next target is 147. But if it does pull back, so if it pulls back here, then we're looking for more of just a sideways overall range, in my opinion. That could be another scenario, as we are kind of a little bit high on the, because earnings are coming up overall. And yeah, if we don't break back above this 150 all-time high structure, then we're looking for more of a sideways trade overall, in my opinion. kind of see that in the market too, right? So we'll see which way it breaks. A lot of tightening ranges, and I'll do the commodities update tomorrow. So I'll see you guys around.